Hi everybody, it's Stephanie with Planning with Peanutty. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm actually doing something a little bit different. Usually I'm doing planner videos. This is my first junk journal video. This is my first junk journal that I've made. I'll kind of go through it, show it to you, show you some of the things I shouldn't have done. I picked this old Bobbsey Twins book. I thought it was really cute. The problem was the spine was really small. And as you can see, I put way too much paper in here. So by the time I added all my embellishments and things, I've got this alligator mouth going. You can see I have two signatures in here. Signatures are the set of papers that you put together when you're making a book. And I had way too many papers in each signature. I actually had 4 signatures in here, believe it or not, when I first sewed it into the spine. Had to take 2 out. You can see it is an older book, so it's just been fraying. And I had to add this kind of fabric tape to help that spine stay together. But I did love the cover. I just thought it was really cute, but maybe not the best for my first junk journal. Too much paper and too many signatures in there. But let me just kind of flip through it and show you what I did. A lot of these are just tags and things I already had. So some I used scrapbook paper. I used a lot of Daphne's Diaries. It's a magazine with a lot of beautiful just illustrations and things in it. So let's just kind of walk through. I have some little cards and things tucked in. Just use some doilies, I think from the dollar store, folded to make little tucks in the corner there. This was just some magazine paper folded over and then used it to write in, add some stickers. Now, junk journals, originally, the idea is you just use like junk mail and old magazines and things from around your house that are basically trash, right? Basically junk. And then you repurpose them into a book, which then you can write in whatever you want, pictures, stickers. You could use them as art books, really whatever you want to use them for. But it's kind of evolved over time where now a lot of people like to use decorative papers and things, make it a little prettier than just your junk mail. So I did try to make mine a little pretty. It's still pretty junky, but it's been a lot of fun. This craft for me, more than scrapbooking, more than card making, that's a little bit of, actually, that's some razor packaging that I used as a little window around that illustration. But this craft, more than those other paper crafts, really was hard for me to jump in and get started. Like, I was really nervous about it. These are just some little receipts tucked in. I like keeping the prices of how much these shows were. So I could remember on that year, here's how much it cost to go to the Nutcracker. Just kind of a nice little memory thing. But more than other paper crafts I've done, this one was like the scariest, which sounds weird when I'm saying that because it's been a lot of fun, but I think it was pushing me outside of my comfort zone artistically, which is also funny to say because you think of doing artistic creative things. Why would it be so much different to do this artistic creative thing? Here's just some sheet music paper with a rub-on Jane Davenport over it, and that's some washi stickers. But it really was quite the challenge for me, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm working on a new one, which I'll show you how I set up. But let me just keep doing this flip through with you. So I do like using the inside first page of that book. You could see the inside cover is that same design. And then there was a page on this side that matched, and I took that page out and used that in there. So I do like using elements from the actual book, like this page of text. I picked some of the papers that had illustrations on them, and then I just used washi tape to tape 2 together so that I could sew them into the signature. And then these cute little tags fit perfectly in the little paper sacks. I think I got the paper sacks from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember the tag, probably Tuesday morning. And then this was a Hallmark little freebie calendar that they give away at the beginning of the year. And I grabbed one of those and put just some scrapbook paper around the outside of it to make a little calendar to keep track of family birthdays. Yeah, covered it with coordinating scrapbook paper so that it would kind of match the journal. And then tucked it in that pocket. And that pocket hides the center of my signature where I've sewn in the pages to the book. And then since doing junk journals, I've started like collecting trash. It's really weird. But the papers you get, the business cards, things like that, keeping them and putting them in the junk journal instead of just throwing them away. Some just doodling, some song lyrics, a lot of pictures, a lot of memory keeping in here. Some birthday cards, things like that. The vellum pages, little notes from kids, just really cute. That was from one of my piano students. I thought that was adorable. Definitely want to save that, so tuck that in there. And then, you get the little paper bracelet when you go to mini golf. You could just tuck that in there. These are a bunch of greeting cards and thank you cards and things all saved. Oh, punch cards from stores. Oh, and then one of my favorite pages are these kind of candy wrappers. Some of them are pretty, but some of them are just because. That one I think was off of a pack of wafers, I think. And then the C's candies, of course, one of our favorites. And then this lint truffle bag from Easter. I just thought that was absolutely beautiful. The flowers and the birds. And I thought, okay, maybe how could I cover up the lint part of it or the chocolate part and just use the bag? But you know what? It's just beautiful. I'm going to put it as is. And it's just kind of a little snapshot in time there. And then some makeup and perfume packaging. I was doing Ipsy. And Ipsy sends you little sample sizes. So I was including some of those packages. And a lot of cards. And then a little write-up on singing at Notre Dame Cathedral. And then a tiny little envelope I made out of scrapbook paper. And then I made this little accordion with pictures on one side, my Notre Dame pictures on one side, and then just some of this text paper on the back. Just as a place to have extra pictures included in there. And then made an envelope out of sheet music. I've got some pictures of my nieces and nephews in there. During the pandemic, we did a lot of drive-by birthday parties where you just drive by someone's house and wave streamers out the window and honk at them. And one lady gave us a little cookie in a to-go bag, so included that bag in there. Now this blue cloud envelope, I have more school pictures in there, but it was a full legal size envelope, and I trimmed the center of the flap and then sewed it into the signature so that I could have two little pockets that are those envelopes. This was after a trip to Disneyland. I took those pamphlets that they give you for free when you come in, saved the tickets, saved the fast passes. Usually I would throw those fast passes away, but I love having them tucked in here. I love having my receipt to Disneyland, so I know that on that date, here's how much my ticket cost. And then I can use all those pieces from the brochure in this spread. So see, I cut the map out, glued the map down, and the map changes over time as well. As they add rides, as they remove things, that changes. So it's this nice picture of what that trip was like, and included some little pictures tucked in there. And then went to my friend's nephew's play, and so cut up the program to include pieces from that, the name of the show, the dates from the show, a little bit about the cast, more pieces from the show, little handouts and cards. This was one of my choirs had a 25th anniversary concert. So I went to the concert and again, take the program, cut it up. There's the CDs we did. There's my ticket. Put a little stamp behind that for some visual interest, some quotes about music, and then a lot of the pictures from the 25th anniversary concert, but a lot of the older pictures from when I was in there and included those. I actually took the donation envelope that was in there. Now I have given them money, so I felt okay using the donation envelope, but added some lines so that I could write about the concert right on that donation envelope. And then same thing on the inside flap, just added a piece of paper, another ticket. And then instead of the entire program, I just took the page of songs that they sang so I could see that there. And I just loved everything on that program because they're songs that I had loved for years, and it was just amazing. And then I cut out the text to one of my favorite songs they did and put a little map, scrapbook paper behind it. And then a Shakespeare sonnet with just some cutouts from a magazine. My brother-in-law's play included that program. It's a little smaller, so I just included the entire program. And again, that's the center of that second signature, that pocket I made. And then that pocket kind of hides the stitching. And then little shorter pages. Again, a little doily tuck corner. And then just right on the backs of those tags. And then my experience being in the Tabernacle Choir. A little write-up about it. I think that one was about Carnegie Hall. And then tuck that in there. And then my picture in front of Carnegie Hall. And more sheet music, because that fits with musical concerts. The picture with me in there. More write-up about it. And then we had a trip planned to the Baltic States that I started to put in here. There's the current group I'm in. And, of course, that trip got canceled. And my parking pass in there. Normally, I would just throw that parking pass away. But, you know, why not keep it in there? Our newsletter and the mailer that went out. And then, of course, that trip was canceled because of the pandemic. And then I think this was a speaker that came and spoke about temples in the Old Testament and New Testament. And then my mom and I drove down to LA and we went to like a warehouse sale and the temple. And I think we ate at Fatburger. So you got to take that Fatburger menu and just kind of tore it to put in the back there. And then when I was in Phoenix visiting my sister, we went to this Crayola experience. It was so crowded. I actually don't think I would go back, but took the business card, did a little write-up about it. There's the other half of that envelope I showed you earlier. And then cut out pictures from their pamphlet and included them with pictures that I took. But see, here's those little elements from their brochure. And then more paper from that book. More cards and tags. And this was a nice little card a woman from church gave us with the story about the Christmas orange. And it's got this gold ribbon on there. I kind of like that it hangs off. And then this was in Daphne's diary, this poem about diaries. So I thought that was pretty appropriate to put it in a junk journal. And another tag in the sack. That little silverware handle picture was from a magazine. I just thought it was fun. And the doily. So that was my first junk journal. And I definitely learned a lot doing this one. You could see it ended up quite full. So I've definitely learned not to add as much paper. And then it's also kind of small. So I think the next one I want to make a little bit bigger so that I could add more things on each page. A little more space for pictures and things. And then it was way too full. So I've learned since my new rule of thumb is no more than 5 pages in a signature. So by the time you fold them in half, it's 10. And then keeping those a 1/4 inch apart along the spine. So definitely learned some lessons, but I look forward to making more in the future. So click like if you like this video, subscribe to see more. I am going to turn an old happy planner into a junk journal. So if you don't want to miss it, stay tuned. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.